There's a moment many people experience but rarely talk about. It usually happens late at night when everything is quiet and your thoughts finally have room to breathe. You're lying there, staring at the ceiling, and a question quietly forms in your mind. Why do I feel more at peace when I'm not around my own family? The moment that thought appears, guilt often follows right behind it, because family is supposed to mean safety, love, belonging. So when distance feels better than closeness, something inside you starts to feel wrong. You begin to wonder if you're selfish, if you're ungrateful, if something is broken inside you. But what if that feeling isn't a flaw at all? What if it's information? Many people who eventually distance themselves from family don't do it out of anger, they do it out of exhaustion. They've spent years trying to be understood, trying to explain their feelings without being dismissed, trying to stay calm while being misunderstood over and over again. They learn to walk on emotional eggshells, they measure every word, they rehearse conversations in their head before they even happen, and still nothing changes. What makes this especially confusing is that the pain doesn't always come from obvious cruelty. Sometimes it comes from small moments that pile up quietly, a joke that cuts a little too deep, a concern that gets brushed off, a boundary that's ignored but never openly challenged. On the surface, everything looks normal, but inside something keeps shrinking. Psychologically, this is what happens when emotional safety disappears. Your mind is constantly scanning for danger, not physical danger, but emotional threat. You start to tense up before conversations. You feel drained after interactions that are supposed to feel loving. And over time, your nervous system learns a simple truth. Being around these people costs too much. That's when distance begins to feel less like rejection and more like relief. This is also where guilt sneaks in, because society teaches us that family bonds should be unconditional, that loyalty should come before personal comfort, that choosing yourself is somehow selfish. So when someone steps back, they don't just grieve the relationship, they grieve the version of themselves who kept trying. They grieve the hope that one day things would feel different. But here's something that often gets overlooked. You can love people deeply and still recognize that being close to them hurts you. That contradiction confuses a lot of people. They think love should be enough to make everything work, but love without emotional safety slowly turns into self-abandonment. And that's when the inner conflict becomes unbearable. You start questioning your own reactions. You wonder if you're too sensitive. You replay conversations trying to find the moment where you messed up. But what's really happening is this. Your body is responding honestly to an environment that doesn't feel safe for you anymore. Distance, in this case, isn't rejection. It's regulation. It's your mind and body trying to protect you from constant emotional strain. And when someone finally creates that distance, something unexpected often happens. They breathe easier, their thoughts feel clearer, their chest doesn't feel as heavy. That's usually when the realization hits. The problem was never that they didn't love their family enough. The problem was that they were losing themselves trying to hold everything together. This doesn't mean cutting people off is easy. It comes with grief, with doubt, with moments of loneliness, but it also comes with something else: clarity. Clarity about what kind of relationships feel safe. Clarity about what behavior is no longer acceptable. Clarity about the difference between love and obligation. And slowly, very slowly, a new kind of strength forms. Not the loud kind, not the angry kind, but the quiet kind that says, I'm allowed to protect my peace. I'm allowed to choose myself. I don't need to stay where I'm constantly hurting. Some people will never understand your choice, and that's okay. They don't have to live inside your nervous system. They don't carry your memories. They don't feel what you feel when the room goes silent. You do. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for others is to step back, breathe, and choose a path that allows you to heal. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally started caring about yourself. And that quietly changes everything.